not! Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, it is time for yet another anti-haul. I feel in celebration of the return of our one true queen, Kimberly Clark, to the platform of YouTube. We'll leave her channel down below, as she is the one who popularized the beauty community phenomenon that is the anti-haul, which was originally created by Amber's Beauty Chair. We'll also leave her channel down below. Sometimes it's just good to get on here and to do some good old therapeutic. You got your trash talking, you've got your talking yourself out of products, and you just got your putting your own personal opinions out there into the consumeristic wasteland of the beauty community. Sometimes we'll be talking about things we want to get or things that we burp squad. Things that we're absolutely like, oh heck no, that ain't gonna happen. Some things that in our, deep, dark, makeup-loving hearts we actually kind of really want. I'll apologize now if some of these products are a little bit old. Your girl, I always just scroll through Trend Mood and I'm like, click, oh that's great. And then I go to make my anti-haul and the product's like 3 months past and I'm like, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. So let's just get on into it, and hopefully these are still somewhat relevant when this comes out. I'm gonna start off with one that y'all actually, a couple of y'all tagged me and asked me and were like, hey, you gonna get this? You gonna review this? And in a perfect world, I would get this and review it. But the world is not perfect. And that is the Wet n Wild Pac Man Collection. Is this probably one of the most fun, cute, and unique, and just, I think, one of the best collections Wet n Wild has come out with? Yes, it is absolutely adorable. However, this is coming off of the heels of the whole drama of Wet n Wild being kind of outed as not being as truthful about their cruelty-free status as they should be. So for now, until more information can be heard on that, and until further notice, I unfortunately will not be purchasing from Wet n Wild. This collection included, although I would love to have it. Brushes, the blush palette, just everything. I was like, yes, this is so cute. And they got roasted so bad in the comments on Trend Mood. People were like, well, too bad they're not cruelty free, not gonna buy this. Okay, something that kind of had me for just a minute. It really did. It's one of those things where you're scrolling through, you're like, ooh, what that? And then upon closer examination, you're like, well, I guess it's not that exciting. And that is the Kathleen Lights plus ColourPop insert, 122nd thousandth collab they've done with her, which, whatever. She is an absolutely adorable stinking creator. Deserves all the things, but there's only so much we can squeeze out of the Zodiac theme. And this time they're offering us little single shadows, which when I saw those and they had the little like the embossing on the top side of each of the little Zodiac things, whatever, I was like, that's so cute. Packaging on point. I want these. And I was like, okay, look, if you take all the colors, like all the shades, you're looking at them as singles, you're like, oh, that one's cute, that one's cute, that one's cute. But if you literally take all of the colors and you put them together and you look at them as if all of them were a palette, that thing's boring as heck. Like there's like maybe 1 or 2 really fun, unique shades, but other than that, it's just like really, really boring. And I'm like, you're in it for the whole Zodiac thing. You're in it for the whole, oh, look at how cute the little packaging is on these single shadows. But in reality, you have shades of those single shadows that exist in palettes that you already own that you don't use because you don't like them. So why are you buying them in a single shade format when put together in a palette? You wouldn't be interested in buying it anyway. So congrats to Kathleen, that's great, but for me, it's a pass. And then we have got Oh goodness, this hurts. This one hurts. Not because the product is like, oh, painful, why are we releasing this? But the collector in me, and I admit there is a very unhealthy makeup addict collector within this facade of mine. Becca was all like, hey, champagne pop anniversary time, and they literally took a highlighter I already own, and they took it and put it in a gorgeous, shimmery, shiny, glittery compact with a new fancy embossment on the highlighter. And I was about ready to, like, Jesus take the wheel on that, because y'all know, I am a Becca fanatic. I am a highlighter fanatic. I am a glittery, shimmery, shiny, awesome sauce, limited edition palette packaging fanatic. And it literally took every little bit of self-control that I have to not run out and pay $88 for a highlighter I already own, because of the package. It's just so pretty. I mean, this is marketing at its best / worst. Because Becca knows there are other people like me out here running around who live for that aesthetic packaging. Y'all know, y'all better just bet on it that if that thing goes on sale for like 20 bucks, I'm gonna get me some. Okay, then here's one that kind of hurts me on multiple levels. I've seen a couple different people talk about this, and I was like, oh, come on, it can't be that bad. Y'all, is that bad? And that is the Benefit, is it Benefit? No, what is it? It's Benefit? Yeah, it's Benefit. Party like a Flockstar palette. When I saw this, I was like, okay, all right, the pun is awful. The fact that you have this palette that is based off of a disgusting, hideously awful pun, and that's all you're going off of, that's painful in and of itself. I was looking at it, but it's got like California and some nice blushy tones. It's like got a bronzer highlight duo thing, and let's go dim eyeshadows. Now look closer. Like 4 or 5 out of those eyeshadows are not eyeshadows. They're like cream lipsticks or lip glosses that you're gonna need a lip brush to get into, that are in with powder componentry that's gonna get all nasty and whatever, and it just, that hurts. That stings a little, Benefit. Like, I was okay with it because the color story was like the reds. I'm like, okay, I can get behind that kind of red, orange, summery, whatever. And then the fact that you now only get this many eyeshadows and you're getting these stupid cream, lip, whatever products, it just completely lost it for me. Y'all know how I feel about cream and powder products intermingling in the same palette. It is not for me. And then you're just adding all the other little, the hideous, oh my goodness. Brain turned off there for a moment and had to, like, you know, kick to restart. A hideous pun. The fact that the palette is just, I mean, you just got these stupid little multi-use palettes that they market, and they're like, this is going to be great. People are like, oh, I'm totally going to take this everywhere and use it, when in the reality we don't. Whenever I have those products, I'm like, where do I put it? Do I put it with my eyeshadows? Do I put it with my face products? Do I put it with my lipsticks now? I think this thing just looks ugly. It is horrible. I mean, Benefit isn't cruelty free anyway, but this was just, it just offended me in quite a few ways. And something, this one hurts, but for a completely different reason. Oh no, I am a face product person, junkie, addict, lover, however you want to say it. I love me some good old compact highlighter, some good old compact blush. You know, that is my jam. Well, the Balm came out. I don't even know if these are cream. I don't know if they're powder. I kind of don't care. What the flip are these even called? The Balm Balmfire blushes. These look absolutely absolutely gorgeous. You've got like the companioning colors. I'm even okay with that stupid little like, oh, you've got one here and then you've got one here. It's like a friggity frackin' duo, because I'm kind of okay with them being separated rather than being in a split pan and being like, oh, well, you know, they get mixed up, obviously. These look so pretty. They look so glowy and so punchy and so dramatic. Y'all know how I feel about the blush. I am not here for, well, sometimes I am. Sometimes I am here for a nice, you know, Tarte exposed experience. The majority of the time, I am here for taking a color that does not naturally occur in nature and slapping it on my cheekies. And these just looked so beautiful. They've got that shimmery, glittery, glimmery finish going on, and I'm like, yes, yes, that looks so gorgeous. Like I said, I do not know if they are cream, if they're powder. I'm gonna be very interested, although, do any of y'all know what the balm is on the cruelty-free front? Because I get mixed messages. So beautiful. I think this is an actual, like, smart product that they're doing rather than something kind of a la Benefit that's just straight up crazy gimmick. And something that's just honestly completely totally random that something like 4 or 5 year old ago Soraya would have bought, and that is the Lorac Hustle and Glow Bronze and Highlight Palette. Like I said, Soraya back in the day would have jumped on this like nobody's business. It's Lorac, it's a complexion product, it's glow, it's bronze as well, but it's glow. They look all kinds of real pretty, but there are some things I've learned about myself. Some things I just, you know, I just go off of and I'm like, okay, I'm just like this, you know, accept me for who I am. There's some other things I'm like, girl, you need to stop, you need to quit, you need to make better coping mechanisms. And I don't use face palettes like I used to. Actually, I probably don't think I ever used them. I've just come to terms with it internally now. But I don't use face palettes, you know. I have them, I'm like, oh, you're so pretty. You got bronzer, you got highlighter, you got contour, you got blush, you got everything all together in this nice little package with a bow thing going on. Even highlighter palettes, I don't use nearly as much as I should. It's just kind of like out of sight, out of mind going on. And so in looking at this thing, it looks pretty. It's got a lot of what I like going for, but at the same time, it doesn't. I mean, obviously, looking at it, these shades ain't gonna work for your girl year round. I mean, there's some of those shades that probably aren't going to work for me now at my deepest, which is still a somewhat vampirically inclined complexion. You got medium to deep skin tone, this gonna look bomb fire on y'all. But for me, and my pastiness, I'm gonna have to say no. Let me know if it's good though, if any of y'all plan on getting it. Okay, now this next one I might get clocked for just because I'm not very familiar with who the collaboration is with. But upon my first observation of this palette, I was like, oh, is that like, I literally, not to be shady, not to be whatever, but I literally saw that and was like, I did not know that Trend Mood was supporting Claire's makeup on their page. I did not know that was a thing. In reality, it was a collaboration with the brand Beauty Creations that is with Ann@69. I think that's her on Instagram. I will obviously insert it here so y'all can actually see. And I understand she's all very colorful and creative, whateverness, and you got the eyeshadows, and I'm like, okay, all right, that looks kind of whatever. And then you have those heart-shaped little segments of like glitter eyeshadow or maybe lip gloss. It looks like child's makeup. I mean, if any of y'all had those little cheapy whatevers where you had the things and then you had the heart-shaped little sections that had that Vaseline glitter infused contravesty going on there. Y'all know what it looks like. Y'all know how it performed. And this is it, personified in 2019 version. I understand if that's her aesthetic and that's her thing, great, go for her. But for me, it was not even like a whole thing that I could take seriously. It didn't look like anything I would spend my money on. And that's sort of in the same vein. I find this one a little bit less, I hate to use the word offensive, but the BH Cosmetics with Tina Young collaboration. I love BH Cosmetics for collaborating with a whole bunch of different people. Everyone deserves to have their passion acknowledged. Everyone deserves to have a collaboration, but that doesn't necessarily mean all the collaborations are for everyone. And this one, y'all know how I feel about like eyeshadow with face products and you know my take on that. This has that going in there in for it. And the shades, like the eyeshadow shades are like, okay. And then you've got like the blush and the highlight. And just like, it's okay, but kind of like the one we just talked about, it seems just very kiddish. It seems very just kind of and BH Cosmetics has been pushing out a lot of stuff and a lot of collaborations recently, which I think is great, but I also think it would be better if they were maybe like spacing them out a little bit more, because if you're producing so much at one time, people get a little bit overwhelmed. And if you really want these things to get attention, you want the influencers that you're collaborating with to get attention, you know, give it, 2-3 months between collaboration release maybe. All right, those are all the anti-haul products. Wait. Got one more. I did not write it on my thing. That is the new line of skincare that is going to be available at Ulta from the brand, I think it's I Do Care. Now when I first saw this, I thought it looked real cute, and I was like, oh look, I love me some skincare. I've been going hardcore on the skincare, trying to protect and preserve my canvas. And it had cute packaging, it had a lower price point, it had stuff that was vitamin C. I was like, what up, vitamin C? My skin has been loving. And then I remembered that the I Do Care brand is prolific. They make the masks, they make like the Disco Kitten and some other very popular Instagram used masks. And they are so prolifically known for promoting their skincare while using really heavy filters. We're talking the people who are using this, I mean, it's not even like, oh, that could possibly maybe potentially, it's very obviously like blurred to within an inch of his. Ain't nobody, even someone with perfect skin, ain't nobody have a face like that. And so I'm very skeptical of, I mean, I know we all use, everyone and everybody and every brand and everything, Photoshop, touch up, whatever, but I am very skeptical about buying skincare from a brand, even if it's a skincare brand, that their results rely so heavily on filters. I'm just like, I just want to see how it looks like normally, and if you're using filters so heavily, it tells me that the results people get from your skincare isn't that good. That one I'm just kind of like, I guess we'll have to see, but I am, like I said, a little bit of trepidation going on there. All right. Now we have reached the finale, talked about everything. As always, would love to hear y'all's thoughts about the things that I talked about, as well as something you are particularly anti-hauling this season, moment, right now. And if there's a product on here that I talk trash about that you absolutely love, that's fantastic. Let me know why you love it down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!